Good morning, student. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and fit and taking good care of your health. So, as we completed chapter 1 and chapter 2 in our English grammar, that is the noun review, the pronoun review. So, today in this period, I am going to start with the chapter 3, the verb review. A verb denotes an action or state of being. She left the room in a hurry. We help each other in times of need. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Nehru was a great man. So, in this, the colored words in the first two sentences, that is left and help, denote actions, and the last two sentences denote facts. So, a verb is the most important word in a sentence. It may tell us what a person or thing does, that is action, what a person or thing is, state of being. A word that is used to express an action or state of being is called a verb. Now, verbs are mainly divided into two kinds: principal or main verbs, auxiliary or helping verbs. Principal or main verbs express actions with or without any other verbs. Read the following sentences and observe the colored words. He speaks Hindi fluently. We respect our teachers and elders. He swam across the river. She has curly hair. So, none of the colored words above require any other verb to make sense. Hence, they are principal verb or main verb. So, they express actions without the help of any other word. Such verbs are called principal verbs, and they are also called main verbs. Now, observe the use of colored words. He was speaking very loudly. She has gone home. Have you seen anyone in the garden? It may rain in the evening. The colored words above help the principal verbs to form tense, mood, etc., and so they are called auxiliary or helping verbs. Let's we understand auxiliary or helping verb with few examples. He has washed his clothes. So in this sentence, has helps the main verb washed. It shows that the action has already been done. Next sentence, he had done his homework before his mother came. So in this sentence, had helps the main verb done. It shows that the action had been done before another action took place. So, such verbs which help main verbs to determine tense, voice, mood, etc. are called auxiliary verbs, as they help the main verbs They are also called helping verbs. Now, principal verb have two kinds, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. So, verbs work in two ways, transitively or intransitively. When the action does not stop with the doer and passes on to something else, it is called a transitive verb. He teaches English in our school. Her father runs a grocery shop. She can dance Kathak beautifully. Raman wrote the note in a hurry. Sarita will buy a new dress. So, the colored words in the above sentences are transitive verbs. The actions of these verbs pass on respectively to English, a grocery shop, Kathak, the note, and a new dress. Such nouns or pronouns are called objects of the verbs. So, when an action of a verb passes from the doer to something else, that verb is said to be a transitive verb. Let's we understand this with the help of few example. He eats an apple every day. So in this sentence, it passes over to an apple which is its object. She called me a fool. In this sentence, it passes over to me, which is the object of the verb called. In both cases, the verbs eats and called are transitive verbs. Now, observe the following sentences. He runs very fast. She is reading rather loudly. Children are playing in the open. The baby has been crying for a long time. A cool breeze was blowing. So all the colored words above are used intransitively as their actions do not pass on to other nouns or pronouns. In short, the intransitive verbs used above have no objects. So, students, this we have to keep in our mind that transitive verbs having object of the verb, and in intransitive that verbs have no objects. This is the difference between the transitive and the intransitive verb. Now we understand intransitive verb with the help of few more example. He eats 3 times a day. She is singing cheerfully. So the actions of the verbs eats and singing do not pass over to something. It means they do not have objects. So these verbs are said to be intransitive verbs. So I hope that you understand the whole chapter properly. Now we go through with the exercise portion of this chapter. So let's begin. Exercise A. Point out the verbs and say whether they are used as auxiliary or principal verbs. So we have to now find out. So whatever the sentences are given below, which one is of which type, which kind. Now 1. She has kept her promise. So in this, first has, it's a auxiliary verb. So, and kept, it's a principal verb. We have to point out the verbs in the given sentences, whether it is a auxiliary or principal. So in first, has auxiliary verb, kept principal verb. Then second, she has long and curly hair. So in this sentence, has, it's a principal verb, because in this sentence there is no other verb. We clearly see and understand from the sentence, she has long and curly hair. So there is a no activity is clarified. So ultimately has, it's a principal verb. Then after 3, Dr. Phillips is an alumnus of our school. So first of all, alumnus means a former student, especially a male one, of a particular school, college or university. Or we can say a former member of a group or company or any organization. So in this is principal verb. Then after 4, Sonam is rethinking the location of her beauty parlor. Is auxiliary verb, rethinking principal verb. 5. We had a meeting with the board members. In this, had principal verb. 6. They have a basketball court in their compound. Have principal verb. 7. The sisters have run their family business for more than a decade. So in this, have auxiliary verb, run principal verb. 8. She may blame us for the failure of the program. So in this, may auxiliary verb, blame principal verb. 9. He collects designer pens and owns over 100 limited edition of pens. So in this, collects principal verb. 10. Mrs. Kelly was a kind and religious woman. So in this sentence, was, it's a principal verb. So in this exercise, we have to point out the verbs, whether they are used as a auxiliary or principal verbs. Now, exercise B. Underline each of the principal verbs and say whether it is used transitively or intransitively. If it is transitive, point out its objects. One has been done for you. So, underline each of the principal verbs, say whether it is used as a transitively it is used or intransitively used. And if it is used as a transitive, then we have to point out the object of its. One has been done for us. 1. She has fed her kitten with milk. So, in this, fed, that is a transitive. So object also we have to point it out. Object is her kitten. 2. The two friends parted sadly. It's a intransitive. So as we know that intransitive verb used that having no objects in it. Then Kristen tied her silky hair with a ribbon. So it's a transitive, tied, transitive, and her silky hair object. 4. Walter caught the insect with a net. Transitive, caught, and the insect object. 5. He proposed a toast to the happiness of the newly married couple. It's a proposed, transitive, a toast, it's a object. 6. They have been investigating for the almost 3 months. It's a intransitive. Then 7. The pipelines were damaged last night. Intransitive, were damaged. Then Caroline has returned from her business trip. Intransitive. Then 9. Nigel signed a contract with a recording studio for his music album. So in this, signed, it's a transitive, and object is a contract. Then 10. They ignored the no parking sign at the roadside and were fined. So it's ignored, transitive, the no parking sign, object. So the students, I hope after doing this exercise portion, now you totally cleared with this chapter. So in this period, up to this much, we will meet in the next video. Up to that, do revise once again. Till then, take care of yourself. Stay at your home. Stay safe. Thank you. Goodbye.